Hey, what's up guys? Taryn here. If you're looking to gear up for your swim session, stick around because we are going to go through my swim bag from top to bottom, tell you what's inside here and where you can get it. All right, let's just start rooting around in here and we'll see what's in here. So the first thing, and this is one of the most common tools that we use, is a freestyle snorkel, and this is from Finesse. It allows you to just focus on your stroke, your catch, getting proper body roll, and it takes that need to breathe out of the equation. So it helps with getting alignment and getting balance in the water. This is a really, really important piece of gear. Second thing that I pull out, it's goggles. These are the Roka F2 Full View mirrored goggles that I did a review on the channel. They're mirrored, so they're really good for open water swimming, standard swim cap. This is the be all end all of swimming. Save that for later, that little devil. So this here is a pull buoy. Get to know it and get to love it. What the pull buoy does is a couple of things. One, it does allow you to be lazy, so don't become reliant on using this pull buoy. But what it does that's really nice is that it gets you in the habit of pulling your legs up to the water with minimal kicking. And what you try to do is use this pull buoy to remember what that feeling is like and get your core engaged and get used to pulling your legs up to the water without having to kick so hard. So while the pull buoy is a real treat to use in a set, this is death to use in a set. So this here is a band. This is just made out of an old bike tire that I've tied together. But what this is really good for is it takes your legs completely out of the equation. That sucks. Why you'd want to do that is because, like I was saying with the pull buoy, you want to get your legs used to floating up to the top of the water. This is like that on steroids. You have no choice but to engage your core and learn how to get your legs up to the water. This is probably the single best swim tool as far as really improving your stroke. Now comes my absolute favorite piece of gear. These are the Roka Sim shorts. Now these are basically a wetsuit short. Why these are really nice is because it simulates a pull buoy. If you're worried about becoming really reliant on the pull buoy and not kicking and losing any sort of momentum that you've got from your kick, and you still want to work on your kick, but you want that sensation of the lift that comes from the pull buoy, the Sim shorts are a really nice way to do it. Just like the pull buoy, don't become reliant on it because it will make you slower if you get used to that buoyancy coming not from your own body, but from tools and toys that you're using. The next thing that I've got in here are the Finesse Freestyler hand paddles. Now these are not typical paddles for a number of reasons. Number one is the shape. So you can see that it's a big scoop here. Now why they've got that scoop is because they want you to work on your catch. These paddles are exclusively for the catch. So two things that they do. Number one is that fin that comes underneath. It makes your hand go straight as it enters the water, and it's going to keep you in a straight line as you do that full pull. And the second thing is what you just saw is that scoop encourages you to start your swim stroke with a proper catch. Another thing that I'll use this for is just the standard paddle sets. These aren't very hard on your shoulders. They don't offer a whole lot of drag, so you're not going to build a lot of strength using these, but the nice thing is that you're not going to tear apart your shoulders. What you will tear your shoulders apart with are these paddles. These are the paddles that you'll probably see a little bit more commonly. They're contoured, so it fits around your hand and you get a nice little cup, like palming a basketball. And the purpose of this paddle isn't really to work on your technique at all. Actually, if you've got bad technique, I wouldn't recommend these paddles at all. I don't have a perfect swim stroke and I find that these rip apart my shoulder. But if you've got a good swim stroke and you want to build up that strength in your whole body, because these have such a nice contour on the inside, you scoop in a ton of water, and as you're working on that pull, it's increasing the resistance a lot. A lot of pro triathletes will use these. They come in different sizes to fit your hand. If you want a little bit of an in-between these two paddles, with this being very little drag and this being a ton of drag, you can get a paddle that looks like this, but doesn't have that same contour. And because it's flat, it's not gonna scoop as much water, and those are gonna be a lot easier on your shoulders. What else do we got in here? Disgusting moldy cap. These are very interesting. These beauties are just standard, very cheap fins. What's really unique about these is that they started about that long. The purpose of fins isn't to build a ton of speed and a ton of strength with this huge, highly resistant fin, it's really just to give yourself a little bit of a pop. So I actually had an All-American swimmer tell me that when he was swimming in college, they would take all their fins, and at the start of the year, they would start long and they would slowly chop it down. And he said that if he had to choose one length over the other, that he would recommend everyone chop it down nice and short so that it's basically like 2-3 inches longer than your toes, giving you a little bit of propulsion, but not so much that it's messing around with your swim stroke. Another moldy cap. And the last thing that's at the bottom here that I haven't really used is the Finesse Tempo Trainer. What this is a little metronome that you put on the inside or outside of your cap or on your swim goggles, and you can set it to beep every time you want to take a stroke. You can speed it up, you can slow it down, and what it does is it gets you in the habit of getting a really nice rhythmic stroke where you're consistent. So beep, 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 enough of that. What this is really nice for is towards the end of a swim when you start getting tired, if it forces you to keep that same rhythmic pace, you're gonna end up going a lot faster, thrashing a lot less. And then the bag, I recommend that everyone gets a mesh pool bag. Whether you're putting it in your locker, car, under your desk, anywhere, you don't want all that wet stuff that you're stuffing into a bag to just sit and get moldy. So stuff everything in a nice mesh bag and keep it dry. Now, the piece de resistance that I'm super proud about, that I love, is the Speedo swim bag. And in my case, I ended up finding a camouflage Speedo swim bag. This here is the gold standard of swim bags for a number of reasons. You've got mesh pockets here on the side, so you can stuff things in there, let them dry out. You've got a mesh bag here at the bottom. You can put a lot of your wet stuff in there. And then what I do beyond that is all these loops around here are really good for sticking all your towels, because I take this to the office. So I just stick my towel on there, I stick my Captain America Speedo on there. There's a pocket inside for my laptop. There's enough room for all the camera gear. Everything just dries out throughout the day and I don't have to worry about it degrading by getting moldy. So I would highly recommend some sort of a custom swim bag that's meant for swimming, because it'll let everything dry out. There you have it. That's everything that I use in my swim bag. I'll link absolutely everything in the description below. I scoured Amazon and I picked through basically all of these products and found the highest rated and a really good bang for your buck product for each one of these categories. So if you are looking at picking it up, you can do it there. If you have any questions, as always, hit me up in the comments or check out A-Race Terran on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Otherwise, happy and hard training, and kill your next day race. So there is a pro tip for you.